Welcome to the video lecture series in History Class 12th. Today, we will continue with our discussion about 5th chapter, which deals with Through the Eyes of Travelers. In this chapter, we have already dealt with 3 subtopics. Those are Al-Biruni, the Asian traveler; Ibn Battuta, the traveler from Africa; Francois Bernier, the European traveler. Today, we will discuss about 4th and the last subtopic of this chapter, that is different perspectives and accounts of travelers. In different perspectives and accounts of travelers, we will discuss about various travelers who visited India, difference between the perspectives of Bernier, Ibn Battuta and Al-Biruni. We will discuss about widespread poverty mentioned in travel accounts, creation and circulation of ideas about India in Europe. Travelers did not always believe what they were told. In the footsteps of Al-Biruni and Ibn Battuta, and contribution of travelogues in reconstructing Indian history from 10th to 17th centuries. Various travelers, they visited India from time to time, like Duarte Barbosa, who came from Portugal to India in 16th century and wrote in detail about trade and society in South India. French jeweler Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, he travelled to India at least 6 times. He was particularly fascinated with the trading conditions in India and compared India to Iran and the Ottoman Empire. Italian doctor Manucci, he came to India and never returned to Europe. Marco Polo came from Italy in 13th century. Abdul Razzaq Samarkandi, he came from Samarkand, and Nikitin from Russia in 15th centuries. Montserrat, he came from Spain, and Sayyid Ali Rais from Turkey in 16th century. Peter Mundi, he came from England in 17th century, but most important among them are Al-Biruni from Uzbekistan in 11th century, Ibn Battuta from Morocco in Africa in 14th century, Francois Bernier from France in 17th century. Now, what is the difference between the perspectives of Bernier, Ibn Battuta and Al-Biruni in their travel accounts about India? Let us discuss about Ibn Battuta's perspective first of all. Ibn Battuta, he was a traveler driven by a sense of adventure. He saw a world that was different in terms of customs, languages, beliefs and practices of people. He wrote about everything that was different. He gave interesting details about the social and cultural life in the subcontinent in the 14th century. He also gave very interesting description of coconut and betel tree, which we have already discussed in the previous episode, and also about communication system and urban centers in India. As far as coconut and betel is concerned, he described coconut and betel, which was completely unknown to his readers, by giving comparisons with the familiar. He especially described coconut and betel because anything that was unfamiliar was particularly highlighted in order to ensure that the listeners or the reader was suitably impressed by the accounts of distant yet accessible worlds. As far as urban centers in India are concerned, Ibn Battuta, he praises the cities and gives description of Delhi and Daulatabad. He calls Indian cities full of opportunities, densely populated, their bright and colorful markets, which were not only places of economic activities, but also the hub of social and cultural activities where public performances by dancers, musicians and singers are given. So very colorful and lively markets. About Indian postal system. According to Ibn Battuta, the postal system is of two types. First is Uluk or horse post, which was run by royal horses stationed at every 4 miles. Dawa or foot post is the second one. It has 3 stations per mile, means station at every third of a mile, also known as Dawa. Every third of a mile there is a well populated village, and outside the village are 3 pavilions in which sit men ready to start. Each of them carries a rod with copper bells at the top. When the courier he starts from the city, he holds letter in one hand and rod with its copper bells on the other, and he runs as fast as he can. When the men in the pavilion they hear the ringing of the bell, they get ready. As soon as the courier he reaches there to them, one of them takes the letter from his hand and runs at top speed, shaking the rod all the while until he reaches the next dawa, that is every third of a mile. And the same process continues till the letter reaches its destination. This foot post was quicker than the horse post and often used to transport the fruits of Khurasan, which were highly in demand in India. So Ibn Battuta wrote about anything interesting, about interesting events, about rulers, distinguished men of learning, pious saints of the countries he visited. He narrated about new things which gave entertainment to the mind and delight to the ears and eyes, with a variety of curious particulars which aroused interest in the new lands. Now, perspective of Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni wrote Kitabul Hind. Al-Biruni himself described his work as a help to those who want to discuss religious questions with the Hindus, and also as a repository of information to those who want to associate with them. He wanted sharing of ideas and knowledge. It was with this aim that he translated Patanjali's work on grammar into Arabic and works of Euclid on mathematics from Greek into Sanskrit. So, he wrote about Hindustan, its religion, its philosophy, festivals, astronomy, customs, social life, weights and measures and law. But Hindustan for him was region around river Sindhu or Indus, and Hindus were people residing in this region, that is around river Sindhu or Indus. Neither Hindustan nor Hindu indicated the religious identity of the people. It was much later that the term developed religious connotations. Perspective of Francois Bernier. He wrote his accounts on the model of binary opposition, where he represented India as far more inferior to the West, particularly France. Maybe his aim was to convey to policymakers and intelligentsia in Europe that whatever political arrangements they made in Europe, they were right and appropriate. He called Mughal emperors barbarians and kings of beggars. He oversimplified the land ownership in India by saying that the Mughal emperors owned all the land and there was no private ownership of land in India. He failed to see that the tax taken by the Mughals was neither rent nor land tax. Rather, it was a tax on the crop demanded by the rulers against the protection it provided to its subjects. Everywhere in his account, we can feel his strong desire to prove that West is best. about widespread poverty mentioned in various travel accounts. Bernier stayed in India for 12 years, from 1656 to 1668. Just like Bernier, a Dutch traveller, Pelsart, he visited India during the early decades of the 17th century. Like Bernier, he also wrote about widespread poverty in India. He says, poverty is so great and miserable that the life of the people can be depicted or accurately described only as the home of stark want and the dwelling place of bitter woe. He also held state responsible for such poverty and says, so much is wrung from the peasants, that is, so much is extracted from the peasants, that even dry bread is scarcely left to fill their stomachs. Creation and circulation of ideas about India in Europe. Bernier's and writings of other European travellers, it reached the masses of Europe due to printing and circulation of their books. This produced an image of India. Later, after 1750, when Indians like Sheikh Itsamuddin and Mirza Abu Talib, they visited Europe and they confronted this image that Europeans had of Indian society. They tried to influence it by producing their own versions of matters. Travelers, they did not always believe what they were told. For example, when faced with the story of a wooden idol that approximately lasted for 2,16,432 years, Al-Biruni asked, how then could wood have lasted such a length of time, and particularly in a place where the air and the soil are rather wet? God knows best. In the footsteps of Al-Biruni and Ibn Battuta. In the centuries between 1400 and 1800, many travelogues about India were written in Persian language. At the same time, Indian visitors to Central Asia, Iran and Ottoman Empire, they also wrote about their experiences. These writers, they followed in the footsteps of Al-Biruni and Ibn Battuta and had sometimes read these earlier authors. Among the best known of these writers were Abdul Razzaq Samarkandi, who visited South India in the 1440s. His travelogue is an interesting mixture of emotions and perceptions. On the one hand, he did not appreciate what he saw in the port of Calicut, that is present day Kozhikode in Kerala, which was populated by a people the likes of whom I had never imagined, describing them a strange nation. Later, in his visit to India, he arrived at Mangalore and crossed the Western Ghats. Here he saw a temple that filled him with admiration, and he says, nowhere in the world can it be found. The temple was square, approximately 10 yards height, 5 yards in height, all covered with cast bronze with 4 porticos. In the entrance portico, there was a statue like a human being, full stature, made of gold. It had 2 red rubies for eyes, so cleverly made that it seems as if it could see. Samarkandi says, what craft and artisanship! Another writer who visited was Mahmud Wali Balkhi, who travelled during 1620s and was so fascinated by India that he even became sort of sannyasi for a time. Sheikh Ali Hazim, he came to North India in the 1740s but was disappointed and even disgusted with India, where they expected to receive a red carpet treatment. Most of the travellers, they saw India as a land of wonders. contribution of travelogues in reconstructing Indian history from 10th to 17th centuries. These travelers, they came from different social environment and they compared Indian society and economy with other countries from where they came or visited. They gave importance to new things and customs. Like Ibn Battuta, he gave very interesting description of the coconut and betel tree and about Indian cities and postal system. They wrote about the court, religious beliefs, architecture, which helps in writing history. Like Al-Biruni in his Kitab-ul-Hind, he wrote about religion, philosophy, science and about Indian caste system. Bernier throughout compared India with Europe, especially France, to prove West superior over East. So, travelers' accounts provide us an interesting glimpse of the lives of men and women during these centuries. However, their observations were often shaped by the context from where they came. So, in this episode, we discussed about various travelers who visited India, difference between the perspectives of Bernier, Ibn Battuta and Al-Biruni, about widespread poverty mentioned in travel accounts, creation and circulation of ideas about India in Europe. Travelers did not always believe what they were told. In the footsteps of Al-Biruni and Ibn Battuta, contribution of travelogues in reconstructing Indian history from 10th to 17th century. The next chapter we will discuss about is 6th chapter, that is Bhakti Sufi traditions from 8th to 18th century. Thank you.